We're like, Jen, you're a terrible waitress.
I wouldn't think you'd be a bad, because if you can remember like a stand-up act and improv a lot and do callbacks and stuff, that's you would think stand-up ADD works well for stand-up, but not if you have to tie stuff together and do like callbacks and tie it all up.
Yeah, I guess it only works like when I'm interested in what I'm doing, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, I was also so young, but it did not go well. And then I worked. This is one of my favorite things, and I talked about it a little bit on the Crab Feast, but when I moved to LA, I thought, okay, now it's time to, like, New York was time to become a stand-up, so that's fine. Work during the day, stand-up every night. Great. Okay, got that. Do more stand-up in LA, but maybe some auditions here and there, or a meeting, or write a script, or whatever. So I'm like, waitering is going to be a better job for me. And that was a bust. I worked at the Beverly Wilshire Country Club, which was like Reagan used to belong there.
That's an easy job, Jen.
No, well, yeah, easy serving.
They forget the order before you do.
Yeah, easy serving. It was like all rich white people. You couldn't have new money, which meant no blacks, like no rappers and shit.
Yeah. What about white rappers?
No, they wouldn't even let like if Jim Carrey had wanted to join, he's too new money.
And
you had to be like
Canadian.
You had to be like a Hilton or a Carnation. That's right. He's
too
Canadian.
White. They wouldn't let a Kardashian in there. Are you kidding me? That petting zoo, the Kardashians.
No, Carnation.
Oh, Carnation.
Like the family of whatever.
Sorry. I thought you said Kardashians.
Oh no! Oh God! I'm not letting Armenians in.
That petting zoo they got up and running in the valley. Yuck.
Petting zoo is so awful.
So 20 office. See, this is what I like about being a waiter is every day you're working. Granted, there's like 6 waiters on the shift.
Yeah.
But the tables are different every day. So every day there's 50 new people. So to me, that's with my AD, it fed it for the positive. There's always new people. If I was in an office with 11 guys and we had like in the show The Office, I look at them and I'm like, I would fucking kill myself.
That's so funny because I like to know what's happening. So what I hated about waitressing, was I don't know how many people are going to come in. I don't know if it's busy or slow. I don't know who I'm working with. I just every day was like, ugh. But the office, I hated that too.
Because as a temp, you don't know what the gig is until you show up. Is that how it works?
The worst, yeah.
And you just do it because it's guaranteed money every once in a while?
You do it because, you'll get an assignment. Okay, it's, Now, I was in the heyday. This was the 90s when everyone was paying good.
It's not, the roaring 20s, the temp 90s.
The temp 90s.
It's known, yeah.
People were, I was making $25 an hour, which is a lot.
It is a lot.
So I was working at KPMG, and I was always so good that they would keep me past the week. So I'd be there for 6 months.
What's KPMG?
I don't know. It's some kind of like financial firm.
I don't know.
It's something with money.
I was so good at the place. I didn't know where I was.
I worked in the events department.
It was an Alzheimer's building.
I worked
they loved me.
These 3 women in the events planning department, and they were such single New York women in their 40s. Like, I don't know if they're ever finding a man, but that like, let's go to Applebee's and have happy hour after. And I was just so intrigued by different people. So I'm like, I'll go and I'll say, LOL, don't go there. And, it was like very like office-y. Like,
was there a sadness to them?
No.
Oh, that's
unless I wanted to judge them, then maybe yes.
Then it's like Ladies That Lunch by Elaine Stritch. And
but not as
old.
Not as old, and even that has a coolness. But then I got to go to like I guess KPMG, whatever that company was, sponsored like the Ryder Cup, so I got to go see like Tiger Woods play golf in Boston. Like I went on like do cool things at the job.
But how do you know your skill set when you're a temp is going to work? Is that the temp agency's job?
Oh, you got to go and take all the tests. What? I type 99 words a minute with most 80% accuracy.
Does it bother you that you didn't hit 100? It would make me nuts.
No.
That would make me crazy. If they told me 99 a minute, I'd go, let me go again right now.
Let me keep going.
Just let me go again right now.
Oh, you're right.
Because it could be the letter A. It's 100 words.
I didn't even think about it.
Or QI if you're playing Words with Friends.
QI? What word is that?
I don't key. I don't know, but it's a La Quinta. It is QI is actually how you spell La Quinta Inn.
No,
you're smart. Emerson did well by you.
Oh my God, it was
La Quinta Inn is spelled QI. Why is it no?
Oh,
you're gullible too. This is great. I can't believe there's only an hour of this. We should do, but we'll do it again when you're scheduled. You're the busiest human being
I know. Now it's winding down.
I've ever met in my life, ever. And you do Chelsea.
I
lately.
write full time on Chelsea lately, and then we had this show called After Lately, which is like a fake documentary sitcom about the show. So we would film that at night and weekends after work. And then I was...
you wrote for a pilot, too.
I did?
That's what Ryan Sickler told me. I think he has a crush on you.
Oh, who wouldn't have a crush on me? I'm great.
What pilot did you write?
Oh, I was writing a pilot for MTV that was like sort of...
Teen Mom?
No, it came through via like...
pregnant Mexican girls?
No, it was like actually really cool. Of course, that's why they didn't buy it. I had no interest in it. It was like assigned to me to write. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll take it. And it was about like young girls having their first job in New York City in their 20s. I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah, that was you.
But then the minute I
At KGMGT.
KGM at the KGB.
Yeah.
The minute I handed it in, they were like, yeah, that was for our demo. We were trying to get the 12 to 16-year-olds, but now we're trying to get 9 to 12. Completely serious.
Oh, 9 to 12, because they buy a lot of product.
I wish you had a video camera. I just spilled coffee.
I didn't even notice. I'm an eye guy. I was raised by sisters. You'll never catch me getting a peek.
But what if I spilled it and then you have to
Well, that's your
look at it?
chin.
Yeah. Well,
I'll look at your chin.
MTV said 12 to 16.
Jen Kirkman spilled coffee all over her boobs, and I'm taking her word for it.
MTV was like, we want people 12 to 16. They want to see what 20-year-olds are doing. But then they were like, no. Now we're going younger, 9 to 12. I'm like, oh, forget it.
The Chelsea, after Chelsea, what's it called?
Chelsea, after lately.
After lately, when it first started, seemed like an unmitigated disaster. There was like 8 of you. I think maybe it was live or it was the appearance of being live.
It was supposed to look live, but it's supposed to look like a reality show, but it's all scripted.
Right.
Like The
and
Office.
When it first started, I was like, oh boy. And then somebody decided how to get it on track the right way. The way it is now, I watched like 4 or 5 in a row one night. I'm like, this is really funny. And
Yeah.
I did notice, for some reason, Jen Kirkman's lines, there's a Jen Kirkman drought. There's a dearth of Jen Kirkman on Chelsea.
Last season, I wasn't on the first season because I took a year off from working there, but I went back. The second season, I was in it a lot. This season, I also helped write some of it, so I feel like maybe I effed myself over that way because you don't want to sit there writing stuff for
You get
yourself.
2 checks though.
2 checks, yeah.
So let Brad Wallach have all the lines. Let him get locked out of the studio and all shenanigans
Let him do
happen.
it. I'm going to buy a purse.
2 checks.
Yeah.
You're going to get a Birkin. You're going to go right to
too
Hermes.
expensive.
Too expensive?
Burke, isn't it like
Who's your agent?
$2,000?
2. No, it's like 8.
I'll stay at the 500 level purse.
A $500? So you're more like okay, let me write this down. You're more like a Forever 21 gal?
No, that's like a Marc Jacobs.
Oops, sorry. Let me
that
just
right
write
here.
down Marc Jacobs.
I'm really writing this down.
Sure, might as well. Look, Marc Jacobs. right
Forever
here.
21. I can't. But so the next couple episodes, I'm in it a little more. And then I think there's only 8, so it might only be 1 or 2 more. But
I ran into Chelsea Handler in Denver, and it's one of the perfect examples how the internet, you can use it wrong. And I got a terse email from
I
my
remember
manager,
this.
Barry Katz.
this was years ago, right?
About
You had an
3 or
encounter.
4. I was at Comedy Works in Denver. She was at the Pepsi Center. Already there's this enormous cultural divide.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
I'm at a 400-seat comedy club. She's where the Denver Nuggets play. You know what I mean? She's
Yeah.
where Bon Jovi plays, and
Yeah.
I'm at, Carlos Mencia. I'm following him in the Comedy Works.
Right.
Or insert comic here. I go, but we're both saying it's, you know what, though? Both swagging it out at the Ritz-Carlton, right?
Nice.
So I go to the Ritz-Carlton. She's outside with like 3 friends, I put in quotes. Probably not. Very tiny, very gay men.
Okay.
Probably like assistants. Maybe 1 or 2 assistant, but
No.
just really?
She doesn't have that like kind of assistant that runs around with her. Or at least she didn't then.
They just seem.
It might have been some kind of like, it sounds like the publicity guys at E or something. I don't know,
Yeah,
could have
it
been
seemed
something.
like, honestly, now that I'm thinking back, it's almost like the kid that picks you up when you do a college gig.
Yeah.
The kid that drives you from Charlotte into the woods of
Yeah.
North Carolina. He's like, well, we got a really nice soccer team, but really gay, and everybody was really fucking drunk. I mean, they could barely talk.
Yeah.
And I just see her, and I have that thing like, you're on TV, I'm TV. We should be just hanging out and talking. So I just
Right,
went
we're in
right
the
to
club,
her.
yeah.
And you don't realize some people just are in their club already.
Yeah.
And you're the interloper. And that's always been my thing. I'm a bull in a china shop. And it's my wife's always the one that reels me back in like, you don't know this person. So I walked up, I said hi, and I got kind of like the dead fish handshake, completely disinterested. And speaking to my enormous ego, I'm waiting for someone in her group to go, oh my God.
That's Jay Mohr.
No, they don't give a shit either at all.
Yeah.
Like I am so far out of this realm. So I go back to my room and like I have like sand in my ass about this.
Yeah.
I thought maybe, like, hey, what are the odds? You're a comic, I'm a comic.
Right.
And so I went on Twitter and said, just ran into Chelsea Handler in the lobby of the Ritz-Carlton. hammered, all capitals, fucking hammered.
Right.
And then she tweeted back almost immediately. So she really wasn't that hammered because she can work an iPhone quickly.
Yeah.
And wrote, just because someone doesn't find you interesting doesn't mean they're drunk. So like smashes me. Like absolutely destroys me.
Now that would have been a funnier, more ball-busty comedian-to-comedian conversation to have outside.
Yes.
If she gave you the dead fish and you went, oh, I get it, you're hammered, and she went, just because you're not interested, like that would have been friendlier in a weird way. But the internet makes it so nasty.
It makes it nasty, but it also makes it. I got to see immediately how funny she is and how quick she is because the jury's out on everybody.
Did you ever make up? Because I remember this going around.
Here's where I lost points with the interweb folk, the people that judge us daily on Twitter, and we're going to get to your whole thing too.
Yeah.
Is I immediately just started running backwards like Usain Bolt. Like I was just sprinting backwards like she's one of the greatest comics in the world. Because all of a sudden my manager somehow, I don't know how Barry Katz gets involved, but he sends me this email. The internet is like a race car. Sometimes you drive it too fast and you crash into things. You have to be very careful how you drive it.
That's funny.
I'm like, what? So I'm like, she's so talented. And in all fairness, I was at the Comedy Works and she was at the Pepsi Center. I go, and then like an hour goes by and I'm like, I have 400 seats. She had 30,000 seats. Scoreboard Chelsea. Right, guys? LOL. Because now all of her fans
are going crazy.
Are destroying me.
And then it makes you feel like she's leading it. But it's funny because I kind of remember this incident and I kind of remember just like, once she said her thing, that was it. Probably didn't even really mean it. She doesn't even really look at Twitter anymore. Like, I'm actually surprised she did that right away. Maybe someone, like, alerted her to it because I doubt she was, like, on it. And I think 3 things that happened is, like, while you might feel you weren't in her world, she's actually this weird type of comedian that hangs out with the people she started with, like her old friends, a lot of them that write for her. So those are her, like, comedy pals, or like all of us weirdos. I didn't start with her, but other people. And then she's got her girlfriends that have nothing to do with show business, or they're nothing to do with comedy. They're actresses. And that's who she hangs out with. Or she actually isn't like, oh, I love hanging out with comics. Right. So that's just her thing, but not like, oh, you're not interesting because I'm at Pepsi and you're at this. She's just like, it wouldn't dawn on her to be like, you know, it's a fun night, like broing out with comics.
But I don't want to bro out with comics ever.
Right. But
if I'm on the road with Sickler, like we'll just hang out for an hour after the show and then we just go to bed.
Right.
Together.
Yeah, of course. Why waste time? Just get right to it.
He's gorgeous. And it's that southern accent, even though he's from Baltimore. I'm fired up to be here, everybody. What's up, everybody? I'm fired up to be here. No matter, insert town. What's up, Denver? I'm fired up to be here.
I wish I had his swagger sometimes. I'm too neurotic. But anyway, I think it was one of those things, too, where it's like, she probably wouldn't even remember now.
Why should she?
But
she's
only
like
because
so
she really
top
doesn't.
Of the heap.
Not even top of the heap. She would be like that if she was a temp. She just doesn't care about internet or feuds. Like, E has been trying for so long to like, oh my God, the feud you have with the Kardashians, the feud you have with Joan Rivers. And she's like, there's no feud. I just say what I mean. And then if people are really mad, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, she's just really just like, I don't care.
She's somebody who, in the last 4 years, you try to, like, when somebody works with her, you go, what's it like? And you're waiting for, like, oh, bro, it's a mess.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never heard anybody really say anything bad about her. It's really not a mess.
And I did come back to working there. You know, she's a very generous person, like, in spirit. And I said something once about a comedian that, here's the thing, she's a little out of touch with, like, people because she's not, like, scrounging the club. So she listens to other people like us to tell her, like, I went to Montreal with her last year and we were watching this panel and I was like, that guy's cool, you know, and she had all the right tastes and stuff like that. But, and so she likes to find new talent and stuff like that. But she was asking me about someone once a couple of years ago, and it's just someone that I have a personal, not even beef with, but an opinion about. Like, like just
Aziz.
No, but in that world, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what, like.
Oh, but save your tweets. I don't give a shit about Aziz. I just pulled his name out of the sky.
Exactly. I was like, this person doesn't need any more help. I'm like, you know what? I don't even know how much like they would be grateful about this thing she wanted to give them. And then she was like, look, guys, I don't want anyone talking shit about other comics here. Like, your candle doesn't get brighter because you blow someone else's out. And I was like, whoa. She had a good attitude about that stuff. And she's like, no shit talking, no competitiveness. So That's kind of cool.
The Buddha, Chelsea
Yeah,
Handler.
the Buddha. So I'm like, all right, cool. But the only time it's difficult to work for anyone who's a celebrity is just that, you kind of want like, you kind of want them to. This is the same thing that happened with David Spade. We're like, Jen, you're a terrible waitress.
I wouldn't think you'd be a bad, because if you can remember like a stand-up act and improv a lot and do callbacks and stuff, that's you would think stand-up ADD works well for stand-up, but not if you have to tie stuff together and do like callbacks and tie it all up.
Yeah, I guess it only works like when I'm interested in what I'm doing, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I mean, I was also so young, but it did not go well. And then I worked. This is one of my favorite things, and I talked about it a little bit on the crab feast, but when I moved to LA, I thought, okay, birds and shit.
Yeah. What about white rappers?
No, they wouldn't even let like if Jim Carrey had wanted to join, he's too new money.
And
you had to be like
Canadian.
You had to be like a Hilton or a Carnation. That's right, he's
too
Canadian.
white. They wouldn't let a Kardashian in there. Are you kidding me? That petting zoo, the Kardashians?
No, Carnation.
Oh, Carnation.
Like the family of
okay,
whatever.
Sorry. I thought you said Kardashians.
Oh, no. Oh, God. No, not letting
that
Armenians
petting zoo
in.
they got up and running in the valley. Yuck.
Petting zoo is so awful.
So 20 office. See, this is what I like about being a waiter is every day you're working. Granted, there's like 6 waiters on the shift.
Yeah.
But
now it's time to, like, New York was time to become a stand-up. So that's fine. Work during the day, stand-up every night. Great. Okay, got that. Do more stand-up in LA. But maybe some auditions here and there, or a meeting, or write a script, or whatever. So I'm like, waitering is going to be a better job for me. And that was a bust. I worked at the Beverly Wilshire Country Club, which was like Reagan used to belong there.
that's an easy job, Jen.
No, well, yeah, easy serving.
They forget the order before you do.
Yeah, easy serving. It was like all rich white people. You couldn't have new money, which meant no blacks, like no rap.
It is until you show up. Is that how
it's
it
the
works?
worst, yeah.
And you just do it because it's guaranteed money every once in a while?
You do it because, like, yeah, you'll get an assignment. Okay, it's, Now, I was in the heyday. This was the 90s when everyone was paying good.
It's not, the roaring 20s, the temp 90s.
The temp 90s.
It's no, yeah.
People were, I was making $25 an hour, which is a lot.
That is a lot.
So I was working at KPMG, and I was always so good that they would keep me past the week. So I'd be there for 6 months.
What's KPMG?
I don't know. It's some kind of like financial firm.
I don't know.
It's something.
The tables are different every day. So every day there's 50 new people. So to me, that's with my AD, it fed it for the positive. There's always new people. If I was in an office with 11 guys and we had like in the show The Office, I look at them and I'm like, I would fucking kill myself.
That's so funny. Because I like to know what's happening. So what I hated about waitressing, was I don't know how many people are going to come in. I don't know if it's busy or slow. I don't know who I'm working with. I just, every day was like, ugh. But the office, I hated that too.
Because as a temp, you don't know what the gig